only do your best. Picnic 기분 feel so good. 수테키나 afternoon. 불라지나 midnight, yeah. 가타메테 고롱에서 I love you. 이츠데모 smile for you.君だけにラムへそう頑張らなくちゃ
Good morning! I hope everyone is having a good morning. So I'm just trying to sort out my audio. Oh, the most organized streamer. You'd think I'd have it down because I stream like every day. But no, not at all actually. I'm still very confused. How does music work? There we go. I think we're at relatively good levels. Auntie, good morning. I hope you're doing all right. And Cavanossi, good morning. Let me just wiggle some stuff around. Did I finish that? I did finish that live on stream yesterday. Okay. I was like, what have you seen? What have you not seen? Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. We are going to be doing day two of Chroma today. So as you can see, we have a little collection of stuff in the background. I need to get a bigger board because I've already almost filled the space, at least you can see in this board. And it's only day 2 today. I need a big space. But other than that, yeah, hell yeah, day 2. This is a weird one as well. Inverted forest. I kind of have to plan it before we come to stream because I need to sort out my hoop and colours and such. But I already kind of know what we're doing for this one, and it's going to probably be quite a difficult one. I don't think I'll finish it on stream because I need to trip to the post office. I thought it's birthday month. I have to go like every other day at the moment. Oh dear. Going to the hairdressers. Oh, good luck. I hope it goes well. Hairdressers could be hit and miss. I hope you got a good one. Caught this the other Friday evening after work. I'm so busy. I just need to embroider. Oh, bless you. But kind of in the same sort of position. I got so much going on. It's like I just want to sit down and do some embroidery for a bit. So today's prompt, it was inverted forest. So there's a few different ways you could take inverted forest, but I kind of very quickly knew what I wanted to do. And the reason is I have so much pink embroidery thread. So I figured what we do is grab a color wheel and just invert it. So whatever the opposite color on the color wheel is, like to green and stuff like that, we'll use that, and those will be the colors we use. So I've done like a Bob Ross-esque style landscape that I'd like to embroider. I've also set up a hoop in some unusual colors, and we're going to just backwards it. So like pink trees, red grass, all of that kind of stuff, because that way I can get through the colors that I have the most of. Because the problem is, if I do greens and browns, I don't have as many greens and browns. I'm gonna run out of them. So let's do a pink forest. You would have thought of that? I asked Shiny what they thought because I was like, what do you think of when you think inverted forest? And Shiny was like, I think 2 things. I think doing like a silhouette and then having like it but like backwards, so like the trees are white and the background is black, which is a really good idea, except I'm running out of black and white the fastest, so I can't do that. And then the other one was to have the trees upside down, and I was like, I had 2 ideas as well. One of them was to have the roots growing out of the ground with the branches underneath. But again, I'm running out of brown, so it's not a very good idea for me at least. Or to do pink. So we're doing pink. Everything's gonna be pink today. Heckin' good for that. And I'm doing a slightly larger hoop. What I wanted, I don't know how obvious my sketch is. I think you can just about see it. So I'm going to have like a little waterfall, and I'm going to have the threads just falling off of the embroidery hoop at the bottom. We'll do those last. Again, probably unfortunately that bit will be off stream, but I'll come back and show you tomorrow so that you can see it. Speaking of show you, if you didn't see our piece from yesterday, we did, the prompt yesterday was to draw another artist cadet in your own style. So I did an artist called Boole. This was their cadet in our art style, which is embroidered. If you want to, there you go. You want to focus on that little bit, camera. Which I'm really, really pleased with. It was, it's very different to the art style that I normally use, but I had a really good time with it, and I did some things that I really enjoyed. It's a little teeny tiny hoop, so I'll pop that back up there. That was yesterday's. Ooh. And then pop that back up there. There you go. Ooh. I need a bigger mount board because I don't really want to put like holes in the wall to hang up 30 embroidery hoops by the end of this. But yeah, I'm gonna need something else to mount them all on because it's getting very busy over there. I need to check out where everyone else's brain went. Yeah, I think only one person so far has submitted, but the prompt only started a couple of hours ago. Most people take a little while to get their stuff together. Yeah, you mainly using saddle stitch and needle painting. You basically, I'm not really had a chance to really go overboard with texture. I think a lot of the problem that I have with what I'm doing and these prompts, I guess it's not a problem, but it's a constraint. You only have one day to make it. Hey, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the horn. Morning, Nate. Yeah, you only have one day to make it. So like, I love the idea of doing like French knots and like having all like the little bobbly bits, but that takes a long time to do. And if you only have one day per piece, and especially if you're using a slightly larger hoop, I think on the smaller hoops I could probably get away with it, but on the slightly larger hoops, and this is not even a big hoop, it's just a little bit bigger, I just don't think I have the time in a day to do all of the texture. Yeah, so I'm being careful. I will say I am doing probably more needle painting than satin stitch at this point, but today is going to be an intense one. So we're going to be going back to front. If you've never worked with embroidery like this, I tend to go back to front because you can layer over the top and it looks quite good. So we'll be doing the clouds, then the mountains, then the back line of trees, then the lake, then coming forward to the front line of trees, the river, the cliff, and then all of the extra bits and details like little bushes and little plants and stuff will come after that. I am thinking on this side to have some branches come out. Again, I would really like to do them in 3D because I do have wire, so I can do like wired things, but I don't know that I'll have the time to maybe get that done. So we'll see. Again, today though is probably not going to be fully finished in stream because I need to go down the post office. They were closed yesterday. I need to go down there today. It is birthday month in the household of Jelly. Everyone's birthday is this month and last month. So I am just down the post office every few minutes. So I'll probably not go too far past lunch today, I don't think. Thank you, and yeah, I understand, which is why you can't go crazy with different techniques. Yeah, it's a shame because as far as I know, I'm the only person who's doing embroidery in the competition right now. It would be nice to show off like a few of the more unique things you can do with embroidery. Today I'm hoping to show off like the extending out of the hoop by having the threads hang down from the waterfall. I think that'll be like a nice feature. Speaking of which, actually, there's a few things I do need to get, but one thing I would like to show you is, so yesterday the prompt was to do another cadet's artwork in your own style. Someone did our cadet. A very, very talented artist called Fish did our cadet, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to just show it to you. It's very, very good. I do actually need to mute to show you what they've done. Let me just find something I can put it on, because I think I can do it on this one, can't I? I do this one? Yes, and then go to here, there you are. Okay, are you ready for this? I can tell you already that you're not ready for this. So this was an entry by another person. They saw my entry and they remade it in their style. And this is, again, I would like to preface this, they made this in one day, or technically less than one day, okay? Okay? One day! They did all of this with one day, and that's my character! That's the character we made! One day! I might be a bit loud now, huh? One day! I'm showing it to you again. I'm literally just gonna play it twice in a row. One day! I am so genuinely impressed. Yeah, I'm incredibly thankful. I don't think I've ever really had people make fan art of my OCs before. So this was very, very new. And I just think, my god, like what the heck? Like what the actual heck? How dare you be so talented? It's so good. I sent it to my family as well, so when they wake up they'll see it this morning. Because I think they'll really, really like it. Illegal, absolutely illegal to be that talented. How dare? but I love it. I love it so much. I think it's so cool. 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. Oh my god, it's just so good. So yeah, that was what I did yesterday. That was what someone else did yesterday. A lot of very, very talented people in this community. I feel very blessed to have someone have done one of my pieces. Oh my god. So yeah, I had to show that off. I do also need to get a picture of the color wheel, I think, really, for this one, but I might put that in this screen. Let me just get like a little image, if that's okay, of a color wheel. Because it would be a little handy just to have it as a reference, and I don't want to have it on my second screen. Let me just find one. Let me just find one really quickly. Oh, I'll do. There we go. All right, let's get that. Oh, it's huge. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Yeah, it's got like a few different tones on it. There we go. Now we have like a little reference, should we need it. Which I'm gonna say, at least I probably will. There you go. And just make sure that's not ahead of anything. There you are. Okay, so like for instance, if I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice to use a green, I can go opposite the green, and that's saying purples. The other green is pink, and the bluey green is very pink. And then when we get to blue, it's red. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm thinking of inverting. So maybe I've actually chosen the wrong color for the grass. Maybe it should have been more pink, but you know what? I've done red now. We'll probably go for more darker blues, and then we can do like an orange kind of water. It's gonna look like lava, but that's okay. It's inverted. That being said, that's not where we're gonna be starting with. We're gonna be starting with the clouds. So I guess how it would go would be, what color are clouds normally? I guess just white, right? I guess the opposite of white is black. So I guess we could do like some grey clouds in the background, maybe? Maybe? Would that look, does that look great? Grey clouds? I guess that's kind of how it would be. Clouds kind of have a bluish tone, but since we're using so much blue already, like I don't know if I want to go too much into it. That bit? Oh dear, plus they can have a yellow one. Also, Scott, good morning, I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to work out what colour I want to do my clouds, and I'm thinking they're probably going to be grey. The clouds I am not going to be spending too much time on because we got so much to get in this hoop, so we're going to just quickly like satin stitch those in so that they're there, because I don't have the time. That's how you're attempting the problem. Yeah, we're doing the opposites on the colour wheel. How are you doing it, Anime? I am curious, because this one does feel very, very open to interpretation. How are you thinking to approach this one in particular? Would like one lighter grey maybe. I have one. Do I have a lighter grey? I do probably, but they're probably in the colorways. Like I'll have like a light blue, light purple. I mean, I have this one. I don't know if I like that one, but I do have it. Physically, I own it. What about this one? Is this lighter? Yeah, that's like one lighter. I have 3 clouds, but do I want to do all 3 clouds? Maybe. We'll think on that one. For now, though, let's just keep these 3 to hand. I think I'll do these ones as like the little scattered across sort of clouds at the front, or like highlights on the clouds because they're dark. So I guess we'd start with like this one. Oh, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Oh my god, Broodles, good morning. How was your run yesterday? I hope it's going well. Ah, dear. I watched a lot of Final Fantasy yesterday because I watched you, and then I watched, was it Limit Break? Because they were doing Final Fantasy 9 yesterday evening. Oh my god. I was absolutely spoiled with Final Fantasy content yesterday. 10 out of 10. Very much enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I will say I don't often play Final Fantasy. I've run 9 twice. I think I have the slowest times in my category. So I am like not a good Final Fantasy speedrunner. I am very casual. I just really like Final Fantasy 9. I'm just very obsessed with that specific game. And normally we're makers and crafters. So we do embroidery and cosplay and stuff. Oh dear. I would like to run 9 again at some point. I just don't see it happening while we're aiming for crowns. So it's probably gonna be one of those things like, it's in my mind, but not right now. I got 1,000 cosplay things to do. I just need to reshape this cloud a little bit. Like that. Okay, that's the cloud that'll be right at the back. So we'll do that one first. Yee, the best one. Hell yeah, I love 9. I love 9 so. I've learned half of the words in my dictionary from 9 because I was playing it when I was 7 or 8, I think is when I started. So I was like still very much learning to read. And so there's a lot of things that because of Final Fantasy 9, as an adult, I pronounce incorrectly now. Because it's only ever written, you never hear them said aloud. And since I learned so many words from that game, there's like a whole vocabulary of things that I just now mispronounce, including like a lot of the stuff within the game, which, you know, that's fine, but also stuff outside the game. There you go. Make sure that stays there. Nice. Today's might be made later since I have work, but I thought doing a jungle into red. Oh my god, that's a really, yeah! That's a really cool idea, Anime. I'm interested in how everyone takes this, because like, I think we're all gonna have very different ideas of what an inverted forest is, which is a good thing, It'll be like a really nice variety of art, hopefully, by the end of it. It's just very long. Yeah, the first time I played it, once again, emphasize, I played it with my siblings. I am the oldest. So there was a lot of younger siblings also playing this. And basically, because we were so young, we were making a lot of very obvious mistakes. It was the first game like that we'd ever played. It took me near 2,000 hours to finish Final Fantasy IX the first time. because, well, first of all, we got stuck on, I think it's disc 2 for, I want to say, 3 years or something like that. And we refused to start again. When we hit disc 3, we had, on PlayStation 1, we had our file was corrupted. We had to delete every Final Fantasy file that we had at that point. So at that point, we then, after finally getting past the fight that we were stuck in disc 2, we had to restart in disc 3, where we were slightly more educated on what we were meant to be doing, but not really. And then I think everyone gets stuck in it, but the You're Not Alone sequence, the three bosses in a row, we had to have our mum sit in and watch us. Because otherwise we were getting so upset playing that bit. Really gives you an idea of the ages. Also my younger sister, she sacrificed herself, I want to say like 40 times in a row, because once again, she's even younger than me at this point. She was like 6. She doesn't know what sacrifice means. And when you get a new skill, you want to immediately use it. So, you know the fight against Amaranth where you're like one-on-one with Zidane? I left that to my sister. I was like, you've got this, I believe. I'll go to the other room. My sister comes in crying, like, a couple hours later, like, I can't do it. And whenever I press the new ability, it just kills me and I don't understand. And it's because she was in a one-on-one battle and she was just sacrificing herself over and over and over again. Bless her. Oh my god. 10 out of 10. It very much shaped my childhood. I love that game. I'm very obsessed with it. Which is honestly surprising at this point because I had such a rough time playing that game as a kid. Oh dear. The plants farm the humans. I like that idea. Oh, I like that I hope somebody does something like that, Kavanos. That's cool. Or I mean, if nobody else does, listen, there's never too late to join. Do a cool prompt. It'll be a different Genshin's new event, but then it'll be different because it'll be a forest and not a whole town. Yeah, fair. Whereas I'm just here like, I've got a lot of pink thread to use. I'm just going to do that. By the way, heads up, tomorrow, no stream tomorrow, because I am meeting the fabulous Queenie. So I'm going to go be seeing her. I've never met them before, so I'm very excited. I know Bateman, I've known Bateman for like 8 years, but I never met Queenie. So tomorrow I'm going to meet Queenie, I'm very excited. Queenie girl crush, 10 out of 10. Must steal from Bateman, I'll let you know how it goes. Stealing my friend's girlfriend. Oh dear. But not live on stream, because that would make it too corny. Have to do it off stream. Ah dear. Real journey then, yeah, amazing. Yeah, also if you ever do watch me play Final Fantasy IX, if I ever get back to it, which I'm hoping to one day, get ready for Labelium, get ready for Auto Regan. Get ready for me mispronouncing most of the stuff because I was a child. and you know what? I don't care to fix it at this point. It's Auto Regan. You cannot change my mind. Labelium is Labelium. I don't even know where I got that one from. Also, a lot of the characters I don't call by their real names because I rename them all. I can't tell you what I renamed some of them to because I was a child, so like I had a lot of the characters named after my parents or my grandparents or my siblings, but we didn't know how to delete the original names, so the names would be like as far as you could fit them. It would be like Vivi and then the name of one of like my family in all caps, but normally only like the first couple letters because there wasn't space to put their full name in. So it was the characters with random capital letters after them. All of them. All of them. All of them were like that. Oh dear. Very cursed. Very cursed. I have learned that, like, since streaming at least, a lot of people did name video game characters after their family when they were kids, if they were given the option to name them. So it definitely wasn't just me. We just didn't know how to delete the original name. So it just ended up being a weird mix of the character name and that. Oh, except for Zidane, because Zidane, I think at that point we didn't realize how we could rename it. So Zidane was just Zidane, and then everyone else was weirdly named. It was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 times. I don't know, I'm just hell-bent on a project I had going for 3 months. I mean, good on you for still having so much passion for it then. Like, I do a lot of long projects, so I know how much it can be difficult to keep going on a project that's taking like a longer length of time. Hell yeah, good on you for still having the motivation and drive. Very impressive. Not easy, not easy. Just like, it's like, oh heck yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've done quite a few. My first ever cosplay I did with one of my siblings. We did Zorn and Thorn. I made them when I was like 14. I was very proud of myself. That one probably isn't on, I don't know if that's on my Instagram because that's like a long time ago. And then I've done Aiko, which a controversial character. I did Aiko as my second Final Fantasy IX costume. And then I did Mateus. I've done Lakshmi from Final Fantasy 14. I do like 14 to be fair. Good MMO. And that was coming from Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 2 is a good MMO. So yes, I did that one. I would like, so I need to play Final Fantasy 6. It's really high on my list of things that I want to do. I just haven't got round to it, but I really want to do Kefka. I've seen the art of Kefka. I really like Kefka's art. I want to do a Kefka costume at some point, but I want to play 6 first because I know that it's meant to be a really good one, and I simply that I just haven't quite gotten round to it yet. Like, I'm sure I'll enjoy it when I do eventually get round to it. Which colour did I just choose? I'm so confused. Is it this one? No. Oh my god, why are my greys all so similar? Why have I picked such similar greys? I think it's this one. You can see some thread mixed in here as well, but I don't think that's the thread that I want. Unless... No, that's too light. Put this to one side, because this is getting confusing. What the heck? What thread have I used? Now that looks light to me. I think it must be this one then. Right? Was it you? I've gotten very confused. Who was I using? And how did I use you if I haven't already cut you up? That seems impossible. There's probably a piece of thread around somewhere that I've like knocked off my desk, and I'll find it later and be like, nah, could have used that. Nah. Oh well. We'll live. I'll buy more tomorrow, maybe. Oh dear. Gonna say it. You like Aiko? I don't hate Aiko. I think Aiko has some funny moments. Aiko was not my favorite character, and I did Aiko because they weren't my favorite character, and I was still very new to cosplay at the time. I didn't want to do one of my favorite characters and do a bad job. So I was like, well, I don't mind Aiko as a character, let's do Aiko. Easy. Oh dear. Don't regret it, either. Yeah, I think 6 would be my favorite if Night Nostalgia for Night wasn't so blinding. Yeah, I've been like, a couple people I follow on Twitch has been playing 6 recently, and I've been having to avoid all of their streams because it's one that I actually want to go into relatively blind, because the story of that was meant to be fantastic, so I don't want to get spoiled too much on it. Like, I don't mind knowing who the characters are and all that, but I don't want to be spoiled on the story. That's important, and I want to have a good time with that. Oh dear, but I am excited to play 6. Oh dear. I might play the 7 remaster at some point. I played 7. I played 7 after 9, and I think that's why I'm not as keen on 7 as some other people are, is because 7 is very, very different to 9, and I'm sure it's like vice versa as well. People that play 7 first might not enjoy 9 as much, but while I didn't dislike 7 back in the day when I did play it, it didn't hit me at quite the same point as 9 did. I was never quite as obsessed with it, and the same with 8. I don't think I even maybe finished 8, to be fair. I probably should actually go back and finish that one at some point. Oh dear. Then again, I'm not gonna hold myself too much to that because I'm pretty sure we rented Final Fantasy VIII, so I think it would have been a bit difficult to have finished it without spending like a lot of money at the local library renting the same game over and over again. Was there any other? I do want to play 16, but I don't want to buy a PS5. I don't want to buy a PS5 to play it, so I will one day play Final Fantasy 16, but not today. Not today. Not until it's on something that isn't a PS5. Because as much as I would like to play it, I just have better things to spend my money on than a console that I'll use once in a blue moon. There we go. It'd probably be different if I was gaming a lot more, but like, I don't. I might as well spend that money on like some kind of sewing equipment because then I'll use it. I'll use that. Oh dear. Okay. Right. Now we need to start moving into where... So I think this one needs to go down a little further actually. My god. But it needs to keep moving across to the other side so we get the other part of the fluffy cloud. I'm doing very big exaggerated shapes because it's one, easier just to get some big shapes in, but also like, I don't think it matters that much. Oh god, that's a unneat stitch. Don't look at it too hard, guys. Don't worry about it. It's just a cloud. Don't worry about it. The deadline really is making me, I think, my embroidery a little bit... Well, I guess it's teaching me to speed the heck up, but it definitely means there are some less neat stitches in there than I'm used to. Dear. My husband was studying English and he asked me about words in English. I'm with Pete and I was like, pneumatic psych, calm psychology. And he was like, start with Pete. Oh, God. English is a language like that. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in, hero. Oh dear. Yeah, it's one of those things where the more you read it, the less sense it makes. Oh dear. Eden, who is a person, another streamer who is French, I think put it really, really well when they said the English language is actually just 3 languages in a trench coat. And honestly, not wrong. Not wrong. The English language is, I will forever steal that from Eden. It is a very good analogy for the English language. Three smaller languages wearing a little trench coat. Oh dear, to be fair, we do nick a lot. There we go. And over there. Actually, I should be having the Discord open to see if anyone is submitting. For anyone who is new here, we're making this for kind of like competitive Inktober. And it is called Chromacore. And this is day 2 of Chromacore. The prompt was inverted forest, hence us using these reds and blacks and greys. We're going to be using pinks when it gets to the trees and like orange at the water. We have our little color wheel in the top so we can double check, make sure that we're making the right choices with our colors. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. I don't think this one will finish on stream. Yesterday we did manage to start and finish one on stream. I'm noticing that this is moving and I'm not enjoying that. Let's see if I can tighten it at all. Yeah, I can tighten it a little bit. Yeah, I could just feel the fabric like warping a little bit when I'm stitching into it, which is, it's not the worst in the world, but it just makes it a little less comfortable to do a lot of stitching, and I have a lot of stitching to do. So we don't want it moving too much. There you go. And then get that to there, and do one that goes the whole way across. There we go. Yeah, only Arabic still makes sense these days. Oh dear, the only one I know is of English, and I like, that is literally the only language I speak, and I still struggle with it. I speak one language and it's hard. Wow. There we go. So in a minute I am going to start cutting some weird shapes into the clouds, because I'm going to leave some blank space for where I want to put the mountains, just because I do want to add thickness with embroidery, but I don't want to do it too much early on, because otherwise the mountains will get pushed forward too far, and I don't want to do that. They're meant to be in the back. We're going Bob Ross-esque with this one. We're doing some nice fluffy clouds, a nice mountain range, pink trees, you know, all the Bob Ross staples. Excuse me, sorry. Oh dear. Yeah, I apologize well if I'm a little less energetic than usual today because I've had a bit of a rage over migraine last night. I did sleep, but not as much as I would have liked to. That being said, I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. hungry, so there is that. But no, I'm a little fragile this morning. Not super fragile, but like a little teeny tiny bit less energetic. Yeah, this is a very toned down version of me. I am a pretty loud lady when it comes to streaming. Well, actually, honestly, just in life, I am a more energetic person generally. But yeah, I've not slept very much, and I still have like, because what do you call it? When you take a lot of painkillers, you get like sicky feeling. I don't feel like really ill anymore, but like I've been feeling ill for a minute, so it's like I still have that kind of like fatigue, the sicky fatigue. I don't know what you call it. Hero, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, if it's not 8 hours sleep, it's a nap. We had a couple people, because we were actually talking about sleep yesterday, because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the weather, I don't know why, but I've been waking up at 5 a.m. recently, like starvingly hungry. But for no apparent reason, as far as I can tell. I am quite simply just waking up really early and being like, gotta eat, really hungry. Oh, Karadasi, thank you for the posture check. You know what? I will check myself a little bit here because I'm sitting on my feet. And while I do find it very comfortable to sit on my feet, they will die. My feet will die. And then I'll have 2 dead feet and lots of pins and needles. And that it does make it hard to art when you're focusing on the pins and needles, you know? Good call. Very good call. We'll fix that. Matrix, good morning. I hope you're doing well. In a minute, I might re-show you the video I showed you later, just as people filter in a little bit. I'll wait for a little bit longer until we've been going for like at least an hour, I think. But I do really want to like re-show it. Number 14, human skin. I do really want to show it again because it's like genuinely so impressive. I would have shared it in the Discord, but they've got it unlisted. And I think so, this is just my personal ethics, but I really think to share something that is unlisted is a bit, it feels a bit rude to me. So I am not sharing it in the Discord, just so if you do want to see it, you can go see it in the Chroma Core, which is where the artists themselves have shared it. But I'm not sharing it in my own Discord server, just because I don't know if they maybe don't want that. And you know, respecting the artist. Matrix, hello. But Shifty, good morning, I hope you're doing well. Guess who is meeting Queenie tomorrow? Spoilers, it's me. It is me, I am going. Just me though, because Shiny is needed in the house, it turns out. So it's just me, doing a little trip. Hell yeah, no way, yeah! I'm very hecking excited. Honestly, I kind of need it after this week. Like, I'm not really talking about it on stream, but this has been a hell of a week. Like, so much has been going on this week. I'm exhausted. Just from like not physically, but like, you know, emotionally exhausted. I'm emotionally exhausted this week. From a lot of the stuff that's happened, which I don't really want. I'm not going to go into detail in on stream, but like, oh man, I could do with getting a coffee. I am deeply in need of a good coffee, I think. I'm very excited. Couldn't have come at a better time, honestly. I'm also keeping a bit of an eye on this side because I do want another cloud there, and it's meant to be coming into this space. This is gonna look like a really weird space because you can't really see my outlines because they are in
Number one, tampon in
steak. Hope you have a good time. I'm sure I will. Hell yeah. Oh dear. That's why I like to use modern stuff to get this done much easier. Or you mean like not embroidery? Wait, what have I missed? But embroidery is so relaxing. Good morning. Wait, it was you? Oh my god, I've been thrown off yet again. Spooked yet again. It's not Shifty? You mean Shifty's not the person who's sending me tampons and steak anymore? What the heck? That's always Shifty. There we go.
Tampon in steak.
That's a Shifty tampon right there. How you doing, Go? I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. We are doing some fluffy clouds right now. A la Bob Ross. A la Bob Ross, fluffy clouds. I do need to put some highlight on these, but it'll actually not be highlight because it's backwards, so it'll be low light, I guess. I need to put some shading on the top of the clouds to make them look nice and backwards. I might even put some pink in them, who knows? Crazy, whoa. I do send many tampons, Stick. You do. And I appreciate it, you know, I appreciate every single one. My favorite part is saying number 1. Yeah. It's a good number 1 bit donation. Listen, I love it. If you're gonna have a number 1 bit donation, which I don't generally recommend because it's very open to trolling, but like, if you're gonna have one, tampon and steak is pretty good. Oh dear. There we go. Oh dear. Now, well, actually, Shifty, you would have seen the prompt for today. If you were going to do it, which I'm not saying that you are, because obviously I'm assuming you're at work and stuff like that, but if you were going to do today's prompt, it's inverted forest as the prompt. What would you do? Because Anime had a really cool idea. Honestly, Shiny had a really cool idea that I can't do because I don't have the correct colors of thread or enough of them. I'm doing the backwards color wheel, so that's like the vibe that I've gone for. Out of interest though, what would you go for if you were doing today's prompt? The prompt is simply inverted forest, so it's pretty open to interpretation. Trees with vines going up or sideways? Yeah. I did like the idea of like upside down trees or something like that. Or for me specifically would have been like the roots growing out vertically and then like the trees are like under the ground, so you could have like a split hoop. But I don't have a lot of brown thread, so I literally the reason I didn't do that was because I simply do not have enough brown thread to do the whole thing. So I was like, well, I guess not that. Not for me. It's an idea, but an idea I will not be doing because of my thread limitations. Oh dear. But I'm curious of what other people would do. I did like the idea of trees that are like the wrong-ish way around. Like something's just a little unusual about it. Like I do like the idea of that. I think it's a cool concept. We're gonna go back to once again. We literally talked about this the other day. There is, well, Maiden Abyss has a really interesting world, and there is a really cool area very early on which you see where it is like that, where all of the trees are upside down and like everything. I can't remember what it's called, but everything in that place is kind of weird and topsy-turvy, and it's very unsettling, but like in a cool environment way. I loved it. The pruning has begun. Yeah, 3 people will be removed today. I mean, I don't even know like who I'm hoping, because I kind of just don't want anyone to go. I don't want anyone to go because like I like all of the artists that are taking part, so I kind of want to see them all remain, you know? I'm sure that's kind of like a big consensus, so I don't think I'm by any means the only person who's feeling like that. So now you can kind of see where the edge of the... Actually, it's probably going to be more like that and like that. But you can see kind of where the edge of the mountainscape is sort of coming out with this. All right, let's tie this off. I'm going to keep the rest of this thread because there's enough thread here that I can keep using it. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm having an okay morning. You know, I had a pretty bad migraine last night comparatively to the ones I've been having recently. So I had to take a lot of pain meds, which unfortunately always have the side effect of making you quite ill. So I've recovered pretty much from that now, but I'm still feeling a bit like... Also, the post office wasn't open when I wanted it to be. It's a small thing, but the post office wasn't open. What's that about, huh? Where's the post office gone? So I have to go again today. That's okay though. A ladybug, Sky, that's kind of like a ladybug. Good morning, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, you're not the only one there, I'm sure. Nah. Oh dear. There we go. Nice. All right, let's do this one. I don't know exactly how we're going through the mountains, whether I'll just do them with more black. I'm not sure, because if it's inverted, like what color would you normally do like a Bob Ross style mountain? Because I feel like they were always in blacks and grays with maybe like spots of blue. Was the vibe that I would get. The problem is I feel like if I do a spot of orange, which I think is the opposite of blue, or red, it might look like light. Like it might look like light's playing off it rather than it's inverted, you know what I mean? I don't want it to look like a lighting effect. I want it to look like, you know, I want it to look like a weird inverted color thingy. Oh dear. So I'm not sure. I'm a little hesitant, I guess I would say. Oh, I can't get to the edge as I want to. Ooh, I didn't think of that. I guess I'll just sew like slightly in of the edge. I didn't think of that. Yeah, because the hoop's backwards to what I normally do. There is a reason the hoop is backwards, and that's because of something that I want to do with water later. I didn't think of that. I'm not going to be able to get all the way to the edge today. Huh. Weird. Weird. A purpley bluey grey, yeah. See, that's kind of was my thought, is like there's like obviously the harsh blacks that he uses, which look really, really good when he does it. And like, I always look at it like, that's terrifying, Bob. How dare you? I don't want to just suddenly put black on the canvas. What if it looks weird? But then Bob does it and it's like, ah, yes, perfectly normal, actually. Looks great. But yeah, like that. And then like lots of grays. And then, yeah, blue. But the opposite of blue is red. Or we're going to do the opposite of blue as more of an orange, though, to be fair, because I've done red as the grass. So the opposite of blue in this case will be orange, just so that it works with what I'm doing. I don't know about... If I put orange around the edge of the mountain, to me, that's going to look like light. But I guess if that is how it's meant to be, then it's fine. Just finished cooking dinner, having chicken legs. Ooh, lots of apricot veggies. Oh, that sounds heckin' lovely. Oh, good grub. Good heckin' grub. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure that you will, to be honest. I will say that I hope you enjoy it, but I have no doubt that you will have a lovely time eating all that. That sounds great. I'm also using a thinner fabric today because it was the black that I had on hand, and I'm not enjoying it. I'll say that early on. I'll probably complain about it a bit later. The thinner fabric is kind of a pain with how big the satin stitches I'm doing is, because it's not holding itself very well. It's not going to be the end of the world, and it's not going to like break this embroidery or anything, but I think it's just going to make it less fun to do some of the parts that I would normally have enjoyed. So I'm going to keep that in mind for next time that we're doing anything that is not the cream background that I've been using. I will want to try and make sure that I'm using a thicker fabric, and if I'm not, I'm probably going to want to interface it just so that it holds shape a little bit better, because I've got two very thin fabrics here. That is, to be fair, only just because they were the correct colors and it's what I had nearby, like without going rooting through my stash. So partially that's my laziness, really. I should have double checked. I think it's because we only get the prompt on the day. If I had like a little bit more time, I probably would have rooted a bit further, but I was kind of in a rush to get things sorted out before stream. But I still think it's a good learning point. A good learning point, for me at least, is going to be that I do not enjoy this kind of thinner fabric embroidery. I don't think it's very fun, and it's well, it's not that it's not like I'm not having a good time, it's just I feel it warping, and so it's like more difficult than it needs to be, if that makes sense. I don't know how much sense this is making to the people in chat that don't embroider, but it's not holding the tension very well. I'm having to retighten it very, very often, and even when I do retighten it, because I'm then stitching into it, it's kind of making it worse over and over again. It's very small, it's not going to be showing up for you guys on stream. I very much doubt it will show up in images, but just for like, I guess, me as the artist, I wouldn't feel as... If, for instance, we were taking these to sale at a market or something, I wouldn't feel okay selling this one. Just based on the fact that the tension feels very weird. And I don't think it has the longevity of other pieces of art, even though it looks fine. Like, sell as a print, don't sell as the actual. Yeah, it'd be like that kind of vibe. And I don't really like creating art like that. I don't know, there's just something about that, like creating it just for a print. Like, what's the point in creating 3D if you'll never sell the 3D piece, or you'll never see the 3D piece? I guess there's still point to it, but it feels like a shame, you know? I'm also wondering if I could have maybe used felt for these and I would have actually had the same effect. Oh dear, it's taken me a lot less long. You know what though, this is fine. This is all like a good learning curve because it's not something that I do super often. I definitely don't normally do inverted colors for a piece. So although it probably sounds like I'm complaining a lot, which I am, it's actually really good, I guess, because it's like, it's forcing me to learn something about a technique that I wouldn't normally use. So I'm not too mad about it. I'm not too mad about it. There we go. Yesterday I did watch some of the VOD. Haven't finished the whole VOD yet because I did skip around a little bit. But I watched the VOD. The person who's running this event, Cynics, they reacted to my embroidery in the entries, and they were like, oh, I like this one more than your original. And I was like, to be fair, I kind of do too. Because first of all, it's a jester, which people already know I like the aesthetics of. But second, it's just a lot more colourful. So they were like looking at it like, yeah, I prefer this one. It's like, it's not my design. I can't claim this. But thank you. Oh dear. Hell yeah. And do you know what? Also a learning experience. Have somebody else design my cadet for me. Because sometimes other people really do know you better than I know myself. Oh dear. Oh, I gotta watch that. There are so many entries anime that came out after I went to bed. I'm not surprised because obviously time zones, American time zone is very different to the UK time zone, yada 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 yada. So I'm not super surprised, but it was quite funny because when I was watching I was like, I haven't seen any of these. Where have all these come from? Because they were all entered right after I went to bed. So when I watched some of the VOD I was like, I don't remember seeing any of this. Where's all this come from? Who made these? When did these get entered? Oh dear. But you know what? It's good. It's good. I saw some new art. Can't really complain. Had a good time. It's so good. The people that are like the saplings are so good at art. Oh my god. They are so talented. Very heckin' inspiring. Seeing the stuff that they will again, I think as well, like it would be inspiring art even if you didn't know that they made it in a day. But the fact that they made it in a day just makes it like even more impressive. Like I don't know, like finishing a piece in a day like that, it's so impressive to me. I don't know how people are managing it, but I do think it's very hecking cool and very heckin' inspiring. I don't actually know if anyone else other than me and anime, is anyone else looking through the entries as people do it? I guess unless you're taking part, maybe you wouldn't. But there's been some really, really good art in there. Again, so incredibly impressed. I'm so happy that this is something that we've ended up doing because, first of all, it's getting me to practice my embroidery a hell of a lot, which will be really, really useful in the collector costume because there's going to be a lot of embroidery that we need to do later on in that. But also, it's been a really fun time. It's been a really, really fun time. You know, I'm really not enjoying this border. Can I just say, like, the edge of this hoop feels very weak to me. I'm not sure that I like it. I should keep going with it because it's early days yet, and I'm just not really keen on the way the border is, and this is not a very easy one to re-hoop because it's two pieces of fabric together, so I can't just be switching the hoop in and out all over the place because the fabric will move around. I probably could at a later stage do that if I wanted to, but at that point I've already done these stitches. So I might be worth... I was going to do it on the other side anyway, but I might maybe do some 3D bits around the edge just to like slightly disguise where that is and have something like that there. You've got nudge hoops, the brackets are reinforced and the nut lets you tighten with a screwdriver. I can tighten this with a screwdriver, but I think the screwdrivers are up in the loft right now. They're out of my reach, which might sound really odd. The loft is currently barricaded off from the rest of the house because there's a lot of dust in the air up there, and because the roof and like the walls aren't finished. The wind blows the dust into the air, and as someone who has incredibly weak lungs, I quite physically can't go up there. Last week, when they were just showing me the work they were done, I could stand up there for about 2 minutes before nearly collapsing. Like, it is quite dangerous for me to be up there, even with a respirator. So, if anything gets put up there, I just can't, I physically can't get it. It's gone. It is gone from my reach. And the screwdrivers, which makes sense because they're doing a lot of stuff up there, but yeah, I've lost them. They're gone. They're gone. It's like putting like the object you need if to someone who has like a serious nut allergy, putting it in like a bowl of nuts. It's like, great. Well, now I can't get it. Thanks for that. I'll live. I am complaining a lot today. I don't want to just complain all day, but I leave it up there, and then when they next go up, I'll ask if they could bring it down, maybe. But yeah, I do have, you can tighten it with that. It's annoying, it's fine. We've been living with that for, I want to say nearly a year at this point. We've been working on this house. So I am getting very used to the fact that a lot of like normal things that people have that we just don't have. I always feel bad because people suggest, not in this case, but like people suggest really good things, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, what you are seeing is literally the only room in the house you can sit down where there is no building work. And like, so it looks like we're living in like a really nice house and everything's idyllic and lovely, but in reality, it's a very much a building site with people coming in and out of the house constantly and moving stuff around, and there's a lot of hazardous materials at all times moving around the building. And like normally with this kind of renovation, I don't think you'd be living in it while they do it, but we don't really have a choice. So, yee. So just being as careful as possible, because originally, a few of you might remember, I was actually streaming downstairs, and we had to move me up here because I was having so many nosebleeds just from breathing in the air downstairs in the living room, like, and the living room hasn't even had renovation work done to it yet. So I would just be in the living room breathing, and then suddenly I'd have like blood pouring out of me because my body just can't handle any level of dust, let alone like some of the more dangerous dusts that are being moved around the house. I was just like dying. Like I had to stop stream a few times because I started having a nosebleed, and I had to hide my screen because you're not allowed to bleed on Twitch. And then yeah, God, it was a time. Yeah, I think the downstairs place, most people can survive downstairs fine. It's just people like me that struggle with it. So like Shiny's downstairs most of the time and they're fine. We've had a few friends over and they've been downstairs and been okay. I wouldn't probably suggest it for any length of time to someone visiting, because it's like I don't want to put them in a position where they're breathing in potentially bad things, even if it's not too bad for the regular person. Like I still feel like I would rather keep them safe and just be careful. It has been a shame because we haven't really been able to host anyone since living here, but at the same time, like knowing, I think it's one of those things, isn't it? You tend to, at least I tend to put my experiences on other people because I struggle downstairs. I don't want to put anyone else through it, or like I feel guilty having anyone else hanging around downstairs because it's like, well, I can't handle it, and just because somebody else maybe can, I still don't want to put them through it. So yeah, we haven't really been able to host since living here, and yeah, normal everyday things we don't have. We do not have in this house. We're getting there, and it's getting better, but yes, a lot of regular comforts. I mean, we didn't have a bed for like a set-up bed for like 2 months. We were both sleeping on the couches because yeah, like there was just, we couldn't set up a bed because there was no floor. So we had the beds in storage, and we just slept on like a 2-person couch each of us for like 2 months when we moved in. It's like it's regular comforts. But we're slowly getting better. I have a bed now, so that's nice, and I have a room which I can sleep in which doesn't kill me, which is nice. Takes 2 weeks to send a letter to the house next door. No floor? Yeah, we had no floor. We still have no floor in a lot of the house because there were some issues. So to put it, I guess simply, the people that used to live here, they lived here for a long time. They did a lot of their own electricity and plumbing work, which means in a lot of the house, like the core of the house isn't safe. Like the electricity, there are circuits that aren't accounted for in the house, circuits that shouldn't be connected to certain things. The entire upper floors were not earth wired, and they had metal light switches, which is like really dangerous. Stuff like that, because while the wiring technically works, it's very much been done by an amateur who's not followed safety procedures. So there's that. Safer outside, actually, yeah. And then this isn't the previous owner's fault, but whoever did the loft conversion did some things that are really against regulation, and they've actually warped parts of the house. So those need to be fixed. And as you can probably imagine, like a warping house is a pretty expensive fix. pretty expensive. So we're having to sort out a lot of that sort of thing as well. We knew about a lot of it when we moved in. We did not know about all of it. So there's also been things where they weren't in the survey. We didn't know the extent of how bad it was until we took up the floors and were like, oh, bugger. Like, what the hell? Like, what have you done? And at that point, we already own the house. Like, that's our problem now. So, yeah. And we did have a full survey done. Like, we did. We had as much done as possible because we knew there could be issues. And the survey came back all clean. And then we've had to go back and be like, actually, you know, it's not as clean as you said. And you gave us, because we had an electrician visit. We had, like, people visit beforehand, like, to give us the all clear before we purchased the property. And they didn't find it. We have had the bathroom leak into the kitchen through the light fittings, I might add. So the light fittings were dripping onto the floor. It's... When I say this house has been a hazard, it's been a hazard. So fall off and end up whooping our house. They did. Although I still stand by there is some sort of portal on the stairs. And like, I don't even say that necessarily fully as a joke. Because at this point, it is getting ridiculous. Like, when I go up the stairs, I forget everything that I was thinking about up until that point. And like, I'm a bit of a forgetful person, but those stairs are actually ridiculous. I forget everything. Everything I was ever thinking of just disappears when I walk up the stairs. Keep you on the toes, no sleeping for you. Yeah, no sleeping. Always on my toes, mainly because of the portals. Oh, New Zealand, plenty of surprises. Yeah, it is kind of the same with the UK, to be honest. The older the house you purchase, but then also it's not just old houses. There are houses in time periods that you'd normally think would be a bit safer because they're a bit more modern, but because safety regulations often were very lax at the time because they were trying to bulk build so many houses, a lot of those houses do actually have long-term underlying issues that need to be fixed as well. Because our house is not that old. For UK build, at least, it's not. But because of the time period it was built under regulations that are not okay. And then it's clearly had some, like, again, not necessarily the fault of the previous owners, but it's had some, like, cowboy, like, not ideal kind of style building where they probably weren't even following the regulations of the time, to be honest. But, like, you wouldn't know any better as a regular homeowner, so I can't actually really blame them. But yeah, the floor of our loft was about that thick. Like literally, like that thick for the whole floor. And if you don't know a lot about floors, that's not thick enough. That is absolutely not thick enough. And it's gonna warp the house because one floor is just bending. Like there were parts of the floor in the loft where if you stood on it, you would sink as you stood on it. And it's like, new builds are notoriously low quality. It's every time period. Yeah, but at the very least with new builds these days, like if you were to buy a new build now, you would have, how to put it, the regulations are quite strict at the moment. So yes, well there may be some long-term problems. It's not going to be structural issues as much. So you're not going to have like issues with the thickness of the floor. The other thing is, again, asbestos was used for a long time in the United Kingdom. There's a lot of houses that have it in the paint. There's a lot of houses that have it in your ceilings. Stuff like that isn't used anymore, and that does make it a lot, well, you know, it makes it a lot safer naturally because that's poisonous if you move your house, which is, you know, maybe not an ideal thing to be putting in the home. Down with the thickness. Yeah, old buildings are very much down with the thickness. This leaves, good morning. What's the challenge for today? Inverted forest. So we're going to be doing like a Bob Ross style, kind of landscape-ish type Medelio. Am I selling this to you? A Bob Ross-ish type Medelio, but with pink trees and like orange water. We've got a color wheel at the top which we're using to like switch the colors around. That's the plan. Yeah. Floors need to be reliable. Most people can't fly. Most people can't fly, and most people don't want to fall through their floor. So, like, it wouldn't bend when I walked on it, but as soon as Shiny walked in it, you could just watch Shiny sit there and, like, sink. And it was like, oh! But yeah, that wasn't a building regulations thing. That was actually a rogue builders thing, where it's like they've clearly just had someone do this and, like, do a quick job, not a good job. And so it wasn't like that would never have been within the building regulations. It's just, yeah, unfortunately, the people that lived here before, and I don't mean to stereotype too much, they were a bit older, and I do sometimes think older generations are a little bit more susceptible to being tricked when it comes to renovations and pricing and stuff like that. So I do think, unfortunately, someone might have taken advantage a little bit of them and done a really bad job. Imagine not being able to levitate. Couldn't be me. True. You know what? Or me, technically. If you were talking about VTuber models, mine also levitates. Maybe that's why I don't think on the floor. Let's use a fireproofing and walk here too. It's everywhere. Yeah, like if you go into like older buildings, it's a pain in the ass. It's not even like that old is the thing. Like we had to have our property checked, and our property is only like 30, 40 years old, and we had to have ours checked because at the time that this building was built, they were still using asbestos in ceiling plaster. Yeah. So like it really isn't, you don't have to go that old to be having to check for asbestos. And like the fact that they use it in paint and stuff like that can make it very, very difficult to find, which is a world of fun. Cool, I've seen Jumanji. It's been a long time since I've seen Jumanji. I think I was like kind of mildly scared of Jumanji when I was younger. But I also think that's kind of a normal response. Jumanji is kind of a scary world. My mind went to tree clouds. Oh, that's where yours went to. I am really curious, to be fair to Leeds, about where everyone's brain goes with this prompt, because it's really quite, what do you call it, non-specific. Like, you really could do a lot of different things with inverted forest as a prompt. So I'm quite interested in what other people are thinking, even if they're not necessarily going to do the art challenge itself. Like, what are you thinking? Like, where would your brain be going? Just like genuine curiosity, you know? Oh dear. Hello, Jenny Hope. Good morning. A very, very early morning for you, I'm sure. I hope you're doing well, though. We are doing some embroidery. I should actually, you know, should I bring some of the others into shot so you can kind of see what we've been doing? Because I do feel like it would be nice to maybe have some art on the screen that's not behind me. Since we've been doing it so much, we have a lot of good examples. You can just grab a couple of the small ones, maybe. There you go. I'll grab the little ones because they don't take up too much space. And I could just put them in the top corner, like we're doing stuff like this. There you go. And people can kind of get the idea of what we do. We do little embroideries. Excuse me, sorry. Big squeak. Big squeak. Another squeak. Oh dear. There we go. Oh. Yeah, building stuff it's not very exciting, but it's pretty intense. Complicated. Oh, sorry, not complicated. Completing another year of life. The other day, working on a bonus, moved back home from grandma's. Aww. Oh, busy then. Oh my god, you've been doing a lot. Hell yeah. Nice. Oh, dude, that character's so cute. Is it the purple one? Yeah, their name is Lala. They are not my character. They are Bull's original character. And we just did a rendition in embroidery yesterday, and I had a good time with it. It was very, very fun. We actually managed to do this one pretty much start to finish while live on stream. So if you're curious about that one, we did that yesterday. The whole stream, it should be on YouTube if you don't want to watch on Twitch, but it's also on Twitch. But only if you're curious. But yeah, we made the pretty much, I think I did the outline off stream because I got a bit excited and I wanted to start it. But I'm pretty sure every other part of that one we did live yesterday. I don't think I added anything after stream. I think I finished it and was like, well, we're done. It does help that it's in like a smaller, well, I still need to tie that one a bit, don't I? It does help that it's in a smaller hoop. Smaller hoops are a little easier to finish quicker, even if you're filling in a lot of space. Because all of your stitches will be smaller. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It went really well. I think, I should say as well, the person who we made it for did end up really liking it. They sent me some lovely messages saying that they really enjoyed it. So I'm glad they liked it a lot, because it's always a concern making a piece for another artist. It's like, well, what are they going to think? Are they going to like it? Are they going to hate it? Like, but no, they were very complimentary about it. I had some really lovely feedback. So that was nice. Oh dear. The alcohol got me. Oh dear. I hope you're doing all right today then. Oh, there we go. We're leaving some space. It looks a bit weird, but I'll probably cut into it more than you see there, because again, I'll be doing big stitches. Lots of really big stitches to fill in the space, because time limit. Oh my god, is that a horn? Ellie, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. We are doing, well, we're very early stages of an inverted forest, as that is the prompt today. The prompt is inverted forest. Which is a weird one. It's very much open to interpretation. Again, if anyone has any different interpretations to what I'm doing, which is just inverting all of the colors, if anyone has any different interpretations, I'd love to hear them, because it is very much an open to interpretation prompt. I'd love to know what other people thought when they first heard inverted forest. Okay. My brain, to be fair, didn't immediately go into this, but as soon as I realized how much pinks I had, I was like, it's going to that, it's going to that. We must do that. This is a forest, like opposite colors. It's gonna look like an alien forest. Yee! Also, golden, good morning. Yeah, well, I have a ton of pink embroidery thread. So when I realized that I could maybe invert the forest to reds and pinks and stuff, which is what I'm going to be doing, I was like, that's perfect, because I have so much pink embroidery thread that it can help me get through it a little bit. So I don't have nearly as much green and brown, but I have a load of pink. So yes, that's why I've ended up doing it like this. It's quite simply because of the materials that I have, and wanting to make sure that I stay within prompt and guideline. Yes. Oh dear. Either tree hanging from the sky, the leaves in the ground, and roots in the sky. That was the other one I thought of, Cicada. That was when my brain was thinking about it initially. I was going to do like kind of similar in having, but like have the hoop split in half and have underneath the ground do like the top of the tree, and then underneath have all the roots going up and have like birds nesting in the roots. That was my initial thought, and then I realized I didn't have a lot of brown thread, so that was probably not the best idea. But like initially that was my first like bam, like that's what I'm gonna do kind of thing. And then yeah, I looked at my thread count and was like, actually maybe I will not do that, because I do not have a lot of brown. I've used a lot of brown on Glenn and like their outfit, so I'm running a little bit low comparatively to other colors. I might try and pick some up tomorrow if I find any, since I will be going into town. It might be a good opportunity to just stock up on a couple threads and maybe some more black thread, although I might just order a really big pack of black thread, because I'm using so much black in outlining and stuff that, yes. This one, not so much outlining here. And if there is any outlining, I guess it technically would be in white because it's backwards, but yes. Where do you have the prompts? Exclamation mark chroma. So that will take you to a video that explains what chroma corpse is, or chroma core is. And yeah, if you are interested, the Discord link is from that video, and you can just take part in the daily prompts. You won't be able to apply to be one of the cadets, which are the people that are competing actively, but you can still do what I'm doing, which is just do the daily prompts for fun. There we go. Thanks, Scott. Go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And to there. Wow. Go. Okay, I think I can stop that one there. And then I might just maybe try and detail some of these clouds a little bit more. It's like, honestly, why not? Why not? I'm here. Might as well. I don't imagine going back to the clouds once I move on to a layer in front, so while I'm here, let's just add like a little bit of decoration. Let's have a little bit of fun with it. Hell yeah. Is it for artists like painters too? Oh yeah. Literally, it's predominantly digital artists. Like I was saying earlier, I'm the only one who's doing embroidery as far as I'm aware. So if you were doing like painting and stuff like that, yeah, you would probably actually fit in better than what I'm doing, that's for sure. Oh dear. What I'm doing is a little bit unusual. Most people are doing some form of painting, drawing, or digital art. So do not worry. I think you would fit in just fine. Oh dear. The person who's not fitting in is actually me, sorry. It's me. I am the problem, it is me. Oh dear. I thought it was Maria for a second. It does kind of have the vibe. But no, it's Katamari. Katamari just has like every vibe of music in it at some point. It's a lot of vibes, that's for sure. Okay, let's just get another little bit in there. Why not? Why not? Cool, you're doing embroidery for this. Thank you. Just see my jelly. If I get anything pop, you'll never know. Oh, true. Hell yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, I have a lot of benefit of having like a lot of free time, to be fair. Whereas I think most of the artists are doing it around a job or education and stuff like that. So most people have like a little bit less long to work on it. But because I'm not in employment or education, I do have quite a bit of time for most of the prompts. But that's fine. You know what? That's fine. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. Oh dear. There you go. Are hell and heck equivalent? I think they are, yeah. Or different levels of subterranean. Actually, I do kind of like the idea that they're different levels. You know what? I take back what I originally said. I like the idea that they're different levels. Embroidery is time consuming. Love doing embroidery though, it's very soothing. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, is because I'm trying to get better at embroidery for the cosplay that I'm currently making anyway. This is like a really, like, it's a positive thing for me in my cosplays. And again, I do have the benefit of having a lot of free time comparatively to maybe the average person. So like, it makes sense for me to be doing this. But I also do not blame anyone else for doing something else, because I think it depends on your own specific circumstances of whether doing this would make sense for you. And I'm just lucky that it happens to make sense for me. There you go. There we go, get that to like there, I think. Nice. Ah dear. There we are. Can you please elaborate on the embroidery you'll do for the cosplay? I can, actually. So we're working on a cosplay for the Collector. The Collector is a character from the Owl House, but we are reimagining them as if they're from the 16th century. And we are doing them in a very, very formal kind of style. The reason is because the Collector is incredibly powerful in the universe of the Owl House. So to kind of reflect how powerful they are, we are giving them very, very regal attire. Again, 16th century inspired, and because that's the vibe we're doing, it has a lot of custom embroidery on it. We're doing embroidered panels that are inspired by the panels that you see in the Owl House show. I'm trying a little hard not to spoil it too much, but it's mainly in the 3rd season you see a lot of it. And yes, it is a very embroidery heavy project. So any improvement will be very, very useful when it comes to continuing that one, which we've been working on, by the way, for like months at this point. You will have probably seen it if you've been here at all over the last 6 months, because I've been working on it all this year so far. We've done already like hundreds of hours of streaming for it. So if you're curious and you have missed all of those streams, it's on YouTube in a massive playlist where you can kind of catch up and see all of it. The only problem is that you probably have several hundreds of hours now to catch up on because we've been working on it on stream for so long. So it might not be the most approachable. But yeah, that's what we've been doing, and I've been very much enjoying it. I'm hoping to eventually enter it into a larger cosplay competition, because while it is an original design, it's also a pretty hecking detailed original design, so I think it should do pretty well. That's what all the smocking is for as well, if you've seen any of the thousands of smocking streams we've been doing. Yes. Oh dear. There we go. And just want to put like a little bit extra in here. Oh dear. When is the next showing? Of what? A cosplay? But not for a month. We got at least a month of chroma to go. We got so much embroidery stuff to be doing over the next month because that is what we are doing. We're doing chroma core from start to finish. I'm gonna attempt to do every single prompt, which could be about a month and a half. Oh dear. I'm embroidering a what now? I'm embroidering a what now? Guess I have hundreds of hours to watch. I'm so sorry. This is a problem with larger cosplays. It's like, I want to catch up. How many hours has she taken so far? 400. Yeah, we've been working on it though since, I want to say February or March-ish time. And we do 5 to 6 streams a week. So you can kind of imagine how it adds up quite quickly. There we go. We are getting there. We're getting there. I kind of want to put some lighter colors as if there's some darker colors in there. Do I have a slightly lighter gray? Did I use this one? No, I haven't used this one. I'll use this one then. Actually, did I have some of that over there? I did. Nice. I guess I'll use this one then. I can probably use these together, right? Yes, I'd say so. Oh dear. If you spam command Scott, heads up, I will just time you out. Whenever someone does that, I'm like, listen here now, listen here now. If you spam command so I can't read chat, I'll time you out. You're allowed to look at the commands, but no spamming. What's happened here? Come back here. Nice, there we go. Oh, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. I'm sitting pretty well, but I do need to have a drink. Thank ya! Might do a pop it on other days? Nice! Hell yeah, why not? Ah, dear. Oh, oh, it's forest back. I see. Okay. Okay, mister. Alright. I see what you've done there. Very clever. Very clever. Ah, dear. What? Am I being smart? You're always smart, Eden. Always smart. Always incredibly smart. Eden, I am struggling to... I think inverted is probably going to be the one that really does my brain in because this is hard to imagine. Like, there is a lot about just inverted clouds. It's just hard to think about. I don't know. Like, something about inverted is just making my brain go, nah. Nah. And like, I've only just started and my brain is always like, already like, nah, Jelly, this is hard. There we go. Ooh. And then, because like, there are dark patches on clouds, but where are the dark patches? I don't know. Would they be behind the mountains? Should I be highlighting behind where the mountains are? Maybe. Like, is that something I should be doing? If I highlight up to there, is that good? I don't know. I don't know if that's what you'd normally do. But there is a part of me that feels like that would normally be like slightly shadowed maybe, but because it's not shadow, it's light. I don't know. I think shadow behind the mountains, which means there's light coming from behind the mountains, right? That's what that means, right? It means there's light there. God, it's so hard. Why is it so difficult? It's like a different way of thinking, and I don't do this. I don't do this very often. It's hard. Wait, you're having inverted shadow? Yeah. Inverted everything. So the shadows are also meant to be in like light. I just realized you can invert so many things. I know. And like my brain doesn't really, I'm sure most people's brains maybe actually doesn't think in inverted colors, but my brain definitely doesn't think in inverted colors. So like the more I think about the more I'm like, is there light here? Which would mean dark? Is there dark here? Which would mean light? What is going on? Like, it looks relatively normal so far because I've just done slightly darker clouds than I'd normally do. If I wanted to do like a sunrise or anything like that, I do want to put some highlights on these clouds, but I would normally highlight the clouds with blue, which means I think I need to highlight them with orange. Which I'm, okay. Okay, I can do that. It's a bit weird, but I can do it. No black sun, no, I'm not gonna do a sun because I think that's too strong of a light point for this particular drawing. I think sometimes that can look better than others, and I don't think this is the scenario where that's going to look good if I had to say. It's just one of those things. Sometimes those sort of light sources can look a bit, you know? And I think this one, with it being relatively simple, might just be a bit much. Ooh, if I was doing a sunset, obviously, or something like that, if that was the focus, then yes, of course, I would do a sun. But the focus of this one is actually meant to be the forest, of which I have done none of. So, you know, maybe a little bit hypocritical. I have literally done none of the forest so far. But the focus is meant to be the forest. I'm just doing a bad job. Oh dear. No reference, we die like crafters. Hell yeah. Yes, we do. Oh dear. I guess the mountains kind of would be a lot of black actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because the mountains would be like quite light normally, but like they'd probably be more black, huh? How can I backwards shade the mountains? I think I need a lighter color as well, maybe, for where the black would be, because where the black would be, there will be white. I am very much confusing myself here. I don't know if you can tell. Ah, dear. So it could be worse. Where the light would be, there's darkness. Where the darkness would be the light. So you have light following you rather than a that... How would I feel? I guess if you were used to that, maybe that wouldn't be that weird. But like if I had a light person following me around, I would be kind... Also, how would you sleep? Because surely if you were inverted, you would sleep in like bright white. Like I feel like that would be awful. But maybe I guess you'd get used to it so it wouldn't be that weird. But to me, I feel like that would be awful. I also kind of am realizing that I probably need some more black in these clouds. Like it's just not getting quite dark enough. I don't have a darker grey. Downside again of embroidery stuff, you kind of have to just deal with what you have. So I will just use a dark, like an actual black for a bit, and just add some like dramatics with this. Oh dear. Up is down? No, we're not doing the up is down. Like that is an option, but not the option we're taking. Oh dear, takes notes for D&D. Hey, yeah, you know what? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. This art prompt holds so many D&D ideas for sure. I'm gonna make them a little bit more weird looking. There you go. And like in here, start stitching some black into it. Yeah, I just think there needs to be a little bit more darkness. Well, there probably doesn't need to be more darkness, but I am choosing to add more darkness because you know what? My clouds, my rules say more darkness, please. Just not quite enough darkness in these clouds. These clouds are looking a little bit too of the light. They need to be a little darker and a little bit more weird as well. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like they look too uniform. I don't like that. I want them to look like they've been cut up by the darkness a little bit more. You know? I want them to spray around a little bit. Like so. And then... just get some nice stitches in it. You know what? We're gonna take some tips out of Boone's book and just do some really dramatic stitch work. Because, like, honestly, why not? Why not? It's my art. I want to put some dramatic stitches in here. Well, why not? Oh dear. Wholesome darkness. Not. I can't ban you. Although, to be fair, yeah, if it's an inverted stream, then I guess I'd want you to call me cursed. I don't, though. So, you know what? No ban because you did good. Welcome on in, Nut. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Today is a weird one. We got a weird prompt today. The prompt was inverted forest, which I think there are many, many ways you could take such a prompt like that. We are deciding to take it in the way of the colors being inverted, using darker colors in the sky, pink trees, all that kind of stuff. So we are going more color inverted with the vibes. But at the moment, I'm just adding some like visual interest to the clouds. I'm breaking them up a little bit because they're a bit too uniform for me. I don't know how to explain why I don't like it, but it's like, I just don't like it. So I'm adding some little stitches into them to make them look a little bit different. And then, like so. And then I kind of want to add more of the clouds popping out elsewhere as well. They do look very weird now is the only thing. But you know what? I wanted it to look weird. It's meant to look weird. It's an inverted piece. It's not meant to look normal. Oh dear. And then let's go around the inside of this one. Do the same thing. Relatively dramatic black stitch work. I wish I had like a slightly darker grey to be honest, but it is what it is. Once again, embroidery, loads of limitations, but we're working within them as best as we can. There we go. And then put that in there. Get that in here. Ah!
I couldn't find any inverted bits. I suppose that's Pizza Craft 2 party.
Thank you for the 100 bits, Scott. That's very kind of you.
Find any
Oh, for God's
bits.
sakes, here we go.
Pizza Craft to a
Here we
party.
go. Oi, oi now. We've already had it said. As much as I repeat that I appreciate you giving your best effort. You're actually meant to be out of order right now. So I'd appreciate it if you stopped working again. Thank you so much, Scott. It's very kind of you. French knots, ooh, could. But no, you know what? We'll stick off that because any texture would be if I have extra time at the end. Oh, that was a French knot. I just think it fully cracked the code. Eee, nice! I'm a wholesome streamer, Eden. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, it's the weekend. I go inverted, not desert or forest, so yellow page and a yellow crayon, and then go wander off and eat the red crayon. Honestly, that's an artistic vibe right there, and I can respect it. I respect your artistic integrity. I'm gonna do some weird extra bits now around the clouds just to fill out the sky a little bit because I don't even know what I've drawn. And they're meant to be clouds, but I don't know how much they're reading as clouds. They're kind of reading as objects, but I kind of don't hate it. Oh. There we go. Let's get some interesting shapes in the sky. Or I guess just more lines, really. I said interesting shapes, I've lied to you. I'm not actually thinking interesting shapes, I'm thinking lines. Well, unless you really like lines, in which case it is an interesting shape, right? Yeah. Oh dear, that gave me a fright. Oh sorry, it's screaming, yeah. We're a loud channel, my bad. Found the marine, ooh, nice. Also found that there's actually a red chemical capable of photosynthesis. What? A red chemical capable of photosynthesis? What? Seeing pyramids in the body, jelly is Illuminati. Shh. We can't tell people that. That's a secret, Eden. That's a sneaky stream secret. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. See, now I'm kind of wishing I'd done this, like, just as the whole clouds. It's very impressionist, but I like it. Okay. Do I want to start again? No, I don't want to start again. You know what? Screw it. It's gonna look really weird. This is gonna be my weird piece for the week. It's gonna look really weird and really obscure, and you're all gonna tell me how much you like it at the end, and I'm gonna be like, thanks guys. Now I have the confidence to post my weird, freaky clouds of lumps. Do I have any of that around? 2 seconds, sorry, I've got an idea. I have a sneaky idea. I do! The problem is it's the wrong color. But I'm wondering if I could use it anyway. I got fluff. Could I have some of this? But then this is kind of the correct color is the issue. Like, this is not the wrong color like it's meant to be. I need it in black. I don't think I have this in black. But it would make really, really good fog before we put the what do you call it, line in? You see? You know what, we'll think about it. I might break the rules there just so I can use it because texture. Jelly says it's an artistic choice. I do, it's an artistic choice. Is it weird? But it could look cool. Oh dear, floof, yeah! Maybe long short stitch on the top of the clouds, but maybe floof. Oh dear. I am kind of being, I'm sold on floof right now. I am in floof territory. I like this, by the way, weird. Might do the next one in orange. I'm really weirding things up a bit now. Do some orange. And just create more circles. Hell yeah. Circles are good. We like circles. Except we hate circles in embroidery because they're kind of a pain to do, to be honest. There we go. And then there. Yeah, you know what? The more I look at it, the more I'm like, they're weird and I love them. An artistic expression. Oh, you know what I could also do? Oh, I don't think I have any actually. If I had some oil pastels, I could also pastel the edges of it, but I don't think I have any. I have Sharpie. I could go over the edges in a Sharpie. Okay, I wonder if that would actually help. Wait. Sorry. This isn't a Sharpie, so I said Sharpie, I meant Biro. This is a very experimental piece now. I've decided to go a little off the rails and just try some stuff because why not? Why not, you know? Yeah, you know what? The clouds were too bright. Let's just... kind of prefer that. Also, thank you for the horn. Squishy, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Excuse me, I'm just like biroing my artwork to add some extra tone and some extra darkness around the edges because these are meant to be inverted clouds, which is a weird thing to draw, but we're giving it our best shot and I'm kind of enjoying it. Honestly, we're going a bit experimental and I'm having a good time. Blasphemy! Don't look, avert your eyes, nobody has to see this. How chlorophyll is green and there is a chemical that does a similar job in red and oh, and one in blue. Oh my god, that's really cool. Hell yeah. I honestly don't know a whole lot about chemicals, so like that's just kind of just interesting. Hell yeah. Don't look. Nobody look. And if anyone asks, you didn't see me do this, okay? Okay? None of you saw this. Your lips. Zip. None of you saw me going in and colouring my embroidery threads with biro. And if you say that you did, I'll deny it. I'll deny it vehemently. Let's get the edge here. I mean... I mean... Doesn't that look kind of cool though? Like, surely it's not just me that thinks this looks pretty sick. Like, it's sick because it's twisted and awful, but also... I like it. Oh my god, there's so much biro in my hand now. Let me just get that on my trousers, that's much better. Oh dear. I really like that. I really like that. Look at this amazing shading we did. Purely with embroidery thread, everyone. Amazing, amazing. Can you believe we did this level of shading with just embroidery thread? Wow. Wow, impressive. Impressive stuff from Jelly this morning, may I just say. Doing this level of shading with just embroidery? Who would have thought it? Not me. Not me. I didn't think this was possible. Wow. Wow. Oh, just amazing, amazing. 10 out of 10 for embroidery work there. Like, nobody thought it was possible, and yet here we are, making the impossible possible this morning. And it's such a small scale as well. Wow. Wonders really do never cease, huh? There's some very upset embroidery artists in the community right now. Being like, Jelly, how dare you? How dare you just take a biro to your embroidery? And I'll say, what biro? You didn't see anything. And if you did, I'll ban you. Got a glimpse into Jelly's internal thought. Yeah, honestly. It's like, wow, Jelly, you're so smart. You're so smart. And you got so many brains in your head. And like, wow. Look at all this. Look at, wow. Who managed this? Impossible. Impossible. They said it couldn't be done. And yet here we are, doing the impossible, people. Live on stream as well. Wow. Amazing. Such a smooth blend. I am absolutely doing this again, by the way. You thought this was a one-time thing? I have seen the light, unfortunately, and it is beautiful, and I will definitely be doing this again. Like, doesn't that look so cool? Like, for clouds as a bait, like, that's sick. I love that. I'm going to probably still put the fluffy on there because texture, but like, it's so cool. It looks really cool, and I refuse to believe that it's just me that thinks that. I think it looks sick. I do need to finish the mountains before we can put the fluffy in though, because otherwise they'll be in the wrong order. So we're going to, or actually, do you want it to be orange, or should I come back for the orange when we've maybe done some of the mountains? Maybe we'll come back for the orange, but look at that. Wow. Wow. How did she do it? Wow. Right, so don't you dare. Nobody tell on me. If anyone tells, what do you do? I'll do a ukulele apology where I don't apologize or something. That's the meme right now, isn't it? The meme is that if you do something wrong, you do a ukulele apology. I'll do a ukulele apology. I do own a ukulele. I just can't sing. So it'll be ukulele apology auto-tune edition because I can't sing. Okay, let's get that all the way up to like there, I think it is. Nice. Except that I really want the light to be on this side, so I'm going to just stitch into this quickly. Or actually no, I want the darkness to be on that side, not the light. My bad, my bad. I forget what I am doing. The light is on this side. Go. Get that in there. Ugh. I mean, it might not be to everyone's tastes, and like, that's fair. Not everyone in the world has good taste. But I I think it's pretty awesome. You know, and as a person of immaculate taste, my opinion means a lot, I think, in this case. Also, I'm the person who made it, so... Where's this from? This is from Super Hexagon. Specifically, this is from Open Hexagon, which is the sequel to Super Hexagon, if I remember correctly. There, yeah, if you type in Super Hexagon, you should find a lot of a similar music. It's pretty good. It's a good OST. The embroidery police come to the door with needle and thread ready. No, 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 no. If the embroidery police come to the door, first of all, I am pleading ignorance. I have no idea what they're talking about. Sorry, I only create masterpieces, actually. Not sure what these people online are talking about. They're wrong. And they clearly just don't recognize the true art that is coloring in your embroidery threads with biro to get the exact color that you want, you know? They just don't get me. They just don't get me. I never played the game, but it's also just heckin' awoke something in me from my memory. I love the Super Hexagon and the Open Hexagon OST, both of them. I absolutely love them. I think they are phenomenal pieces of video game music writing, and I am very obsessed with them. They just got a really good working beat to it as well. Like if you're trying to work along with music, they're a really good option because the beat is so good. You know. There we are. Okay, we need some more, but I'm gonna make this face at you a lot today. That face. What do you think? Weird, but pretty good. Hell yeah. Get ready for a lot of that face of I'm looking for validation for my weird art ideas. I just think it looks kind of cool, you know? I'm kind of enjoying the vibe. Man, we have evidence from y'all 1K followers. I've never met them before in my life. I have no idea, sorry, plead ignorance. What's a follower? I don't know. Oh dear. If only there was video evidence. I know, right? If only there was video evidence. Delete the VOD. Delete the VOD. Nobody clip it. Get it out of here. To be fair, I don't upload every single VOD, but I do upload most of them. There's probably like in the I've only been doing VODs since July. So it's been about 3 years today that I've started doing VODs. Or like uploading the VODs to YouTube so they don't disappear. I think in that time I have not published 10 VODs-ish. And like I would say 99.9% of the time if I don't publish a VOD, it's because I visibly injured myself in it and I just don't want to put that out on the internet. So like the VODs that tend to not be uploaded, or if I got like sick by the end of it or something like that. So like the other day I didn't upload the VOD because I had to go be ill after stream, and you know, I'd rather not have, even though that none of that was on stream, I would rather not have that out there just because it's like, well, what do you call it? Not like a moment of weakness, I wouldn't necessarily describe it like that, but it's just like, you put stuff out like that, and if people don't know the context, they're going to worry about you. And it's like, I don't want to put VODs out that potentially worry people. So that tends to be what stops me publishing the VOD, is either I've injured myself or I've been very ill at the end of stream. Like not necessarily on stream, but like just in general, like it's visible that I'm struggling, and then I'll not publish it. But again, that's only happened like 10 times, I want to say, in like the entire time that I've been streaming. Oh, except for one, which whatever I do, it gets blocked. So technically, I did publish the VOD, but it is entirely blocked and you cannot watch it. And I can't remember what it is. I nearly had that with Horrible Histories, but I have managed to like download the VOD again and just edit it out. But the other one, I can't re-download it, and I don't want to download it from YouTube, so it's just lost. That one's just lost. Get a paper cup, it's a moment of weakness. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the right way of putting it, is it? I'm not sure. It's just I don't want to worry people. So if I've visibly bled, which again doesn't happen very often, I think it's been more burns and stuff like that where you can't even see the damage, but I can. Like an episode of The Backrooms. Yeah, it'll just be me either being ill or injuring myself over and over again, which, you know, I'm sure there's somebody out there that wants that content, but I do question them and if they're okay. That's a weird thing to want. Like, I would like to see the 10 videos of Jelly getting injured or being ill. Okay. Sure. All good. Oh dear. I guess I can't judge. Well, I mean, I can actually. I can and I do, but I shouldn't judge, maybe. But I will. Oh dear. Is this looking like a 3D object? Is this look like a 3D object? I think it kind of does. I want to put the orange at this bit more. Not quite in the middle, but close to the middle. I'm doing my very bestest, but hard. Is this still super hexagon? Absolutely, it's super hexagon. Do not fear. The super hexagon just keeps on rolling here. I got so much super hexagon in this playlist.
Sorry, guys. I got you.
Oh dear. Oh. I have been more recently, I can't remember who it was that originally brought the Backrooms up in my stream, but like a few months ago somebody mentioned it as like an interesting horror thing. I really quite enjoy it as a concept, it turns out. Turns out I really like the concept of the Backrooms. I know it's super popular at this point and everyone's gonna be like, oh Jelly, it's just a popular thing. And I was like, yeah, but I actually really like it. There's like so much interesting world building happening around it online. It's just like a lot of people contributing to the same project. It's the same feeling I have with SCP, right? I would personally not think that I'm someone who has the creativity to write for that kind of project, but there is just something really cool about such large collaborative pieces of lore on the internet. I don't know, it's really interesting. I like it. It's very cool. I've been enjoying it, to be honest. I've been enjoying it. Good music, hell yeah. I like the concept until they started adding monsters. I understand why they did it though, to be quite honest. I do understand. I think the idea that there's just a space there, to me, that's very intimidating, but everyone has different things that sets their teeth on edge, you know? So to be honest, I can understand why they added something, because a lot of people won't find that kind of thing as like specifically intimidating or weird, but I'm kind of there with you. I think the concept alone is enough for me, but I don't hate that they've added the monsters, because I bet it adds something for someone else. It's a very different horror. A lot of people do VHS type style. Yeah, I mean, what? It definitely boomed, the VHS style. Was it the Backrooms that made that popular, like, more recently? Sorry, my chair sunk again. What was that? I can't remember, but, like, something made it boom, because there's been a lot more. I mean, I want to even say, like, things like, what would you call it? Found footage style. I mean, I guess Paranormal Activity, which is probably before the Backrooms, if I had to guess. Yeah, my timelines are going to be a bit weird because, again, it's something that I've been introduced to very recently, but I know that it's been out longer than I've been aware of it. Paranormal Activity, I feel like, did start a lot of the, what would you call it? VHS style tape horror more modernly. Like, of course it's happened before, but I feel like the more modern spins on it, a lot of it's come from around there. Again, there might be something that I've missed around a similar time, but I do think it was around that time where it became a little bit more popular. I mean, personally, I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool, it's really interesting. Oh, Blair Witch Project as well. Cannot be forgetting the Blair Witch Project. That probably also would have influenced it a fair amount. Not to be forgotten. Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch. Anything else I can think of? Or anyone in chat can think of as well. Oh dear. I'll be honest, I really only like the OG Backroom post. Like when they had all the levels, now it's the fact that there's a world of simulation. I don't like that. That's fair. That's fair. And listen, and when it comes to horror, it is so much different strokes for different folks, because what intimidates one person will not be afraid of to another one. Like, I find it to be a very comical kind of style horror. I have no fear of clowns, never have. Children and horror involving children does not really get me. And So all of that kind of stuff does not scare me. But at the end of the day, like, it's an excellent premise for somebody who's more afraid of the stuff that happens within it. Whereas a lot of people really disliked Paranormal Activity, saying that it was like, you know, it was pretty bad. And I can honestly agree with a lot of the criticisms of Paranormal Activity. It was also incredibly hyped up at the time where it came out. I don't know how many people here remember that, but like everyone was talking about it for a while. But that actually did intimidate me as someone who has experiences very similar to the people that are in Paranormal Activity. That really struck a chord with me. And so even though it is much slated as like kind of a trashy horror film, and there are many ways that I agree with that, it struck a lot more chords with me personally that made it scary for me. Same with, what was that film that was really, really popular a few years back? Was it called Bird Box? Literally, again, it is not a film that intimidates me. Like, that sort of stuff does not scare me. But for a lot of people, it really did. And those would be the same people that would be like, Paranormal Activity was trash. And I'll be honest, I can kind of agree with certain parts of that. But yeah, no, Paranormal Activity has stuck with me till this day. Like, whenever I, you know, have it, like, stuff that happens similarly in the thing, I immediately think of it. So it's like, it's definitely a horror that stuck with me personally, but not with everyone. Oh dear. I'm trying to think of other horror films that a lot of people like that I don't, and vice versa, actually. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be alone in this opinion. How many people in chat like trashy horror films? Like horror films with stupid premises and overacting and silly. I love trashy horror films where they're built in a way where it's like, it's so bad, it's hilarious. I love those. Those actually, in many ways, might even be some of my favorite horror films. And they're not scary and they're not traditional horror, and I know people don't like them because they're not like that, but God, do I love them. I love them so much. They are some of my favorite films. They're so bad. I can't even remember what half of them are called, but oh my god. I can remember the premises because I've watched them a few times. I love Killer Clowns, I was like, hell yeah. Trash like that. You like the Slender Man movie? I have not actually seen the Slender Man movie. I used to, like, I guess I would watch, like, you know, like when Slender playthroughs on YouTube were very, very popular. I was just getting into YouTube, like watching YouTube videos about when those were popping off. So they were like, I have like a lot of nostalgia around Slender and like the universe and all that kind of stuff, because like that's when I was just kind of watching videos on YouTube for the first time. Yeah, it was around that time. So you know what, I might not dislike it either, because it has that nostalgia factor almost of like a simpler time. Oh dear. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up enjoying it just based on that. Oh dear. I'm trying to think. Other films. I'm gonna have to Google it. There's one that I remember really enjoying. I don't know if I want to spoil the plot or not, because the plot is the bit that I mainly remember. So I'm just gonna type it into Google. Horror film where, and now I don't talk. Yeah, Grabbers. Oh my god. It's this one. Do they have like a synopsis which I can read to you that doesn't spoil how they solve the horror problem? Because that one made me giggle so much. I don't know. It's not a good film, but it's fantastic. Dear. I want a synopsis. The problem is I've typed in the synopsis, and now it's just giving me the film. It's a 2012 monster horror comedy film directed by John Wright. I would like the plot. Oh yeah, because it follows an alcoholic in like a horror situation. Oh dear. Yeah, and after discovering some mutilated whale corpses, the quiet community slowly comes to realize they're under attack from blood-sucking tentacled aliens of various sizes. I don't want to spoil it, but the way that they solve the alien problem in that film, it's so good. It's so good. and it makes it so much funnier. Every time I watch that film, I'm just a ball of giggles. I love it. I love it. It's so dumb, but it's so good. Oh, Techno, good morning. Techno, we are doing inverted colours. So all the colours on this piece are meant to be backwards. I know that one. I haven't watched it, but I know of it. If you are looking for just some dumb film to zone out to and laugh, would recommend Grabbers. Like, it is a stupid premise. Grabbers, like, Grabbers. They're grabbing people. 2012. If you are looking for a stupid movie to just zone your brain out to, yeah, Grabbers is pretty good. Grabbers is pretty good. What's the one with the sheep? The one with the sheep. It might. Is it just called like Black Sheep or something like that? Oh, there is a New Zealand film. Is it this one? Yeah, Black Sheep. Oh my god, Black Sheep. That's another stupid horror film that I really enjoyed. There were some very questionable scenes in that show. There were some very, very questionable bits in Black Sheep, but it was so funny. But it was it was weird. Oh, Techno, we're doing Chroma Core. If you're interested, !Chroma will give you a video rundown of basically what I'm doing, because they'll explain it more concisely than I can. But it's basically Inktober prompts, but competitive. We're not in the finals or anything like that. We're doing it just for fun, but I'm still following the prompts every single day. Not Chroma, but it's okay because you know what? Goat's got you. Goat's got you covered. Oh dear, Black Sheep was fantastic. It was. Oh dear, that is a good. Oh god, even like the even the clip that it's showing me to like sell the movie is hilarious. Like, it's so funny. The sheep, like everything about it, the budget aspects, like just everything. It is hilarious. Would definitely recommend Black Sheep if you like stupid horror and you haven't seen it already. I would expect with that one a few more people may have watched it because I feel like that one's a bit more popular. But yes, the stupid horror Black Sheep is also fantastic. Oh dear. I can always get on board with a stupid horror film. Oh dear. I watched all of the... So like we used to do film parties where like you'd go and watch films but they weren't good, so people would chat with the films, which is, to be honest, the only reasons that I used to go, because I don't really enjoy watching films, whether it's with other people or no. I just don't really like it. So the only times I'd really go to like film things would be if people were like chatting and eating and doing other things at the same time. But yeah, we used to do like these weekly stupid horror film nights where we'd get together and just watch like generally not particularly good horror films, but because they were bad, we'd all like watch them and chat and laugh together and stuff like that. So it was like generally a really good time, and it was a way that I could watch films without feeling sick because I wouldn't have to just be staring at the screen the whole time. So it worked really well for me. And I really enjoyed that, and it's pretty much the only time I've ever really taken part in like a film-centered thing, because normally it just makes me sick. But yeah, no, I had a really good time with that. But we watched a lot of really bad horror films. Like that was predominantly what we would watch. And oh my god, it was so fun. They were so fun. I've seen so many bad horror films. I watched the whole of Final Destination pretty much, like all of them over time. And like, they were kind of like in the category of bad, like film that's meant to be so bad it's good. But I'll be honest, I've never really seen Final Destination as a so bad it's good kind of franchise. Like, I don't know what other people's opinions on those were, but like, I don't think I really rated any of them particularly highly. I thought they were okay at best and like kind of boring at worst, but they made like, was it 5 of them? I think I've seen 5. I don't know if there was more than 5. They made like a fair few of them, so they must have been semi-popular at least. But I don't know. It never really stuck with me, those ones. And I also didn't feel that it's so bad it's good from them in particular. Yeah, they didn't give me the vibe that like a lot of the other films we would watch were, where it's like, yeah, it's so bad that it's good. Like, it was just kind of bad. For me at least. Maybe somebody else enjoys them. Oh dear, I thought Oppenheimer and The Sound of Freedom, you enjoyed them? Hell yeah. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time. Oh dear. Yeah, it's Barbie as well, isn't it? I know quite a few people have been very excited for that film. I hope anyone who's going to go see any of the new films has a really, really good time. Like, honestly, go enjoy yourself. Go have a lovely film watching section. I hope you really enjoy them and they live up to all of your expectations and hopes. Hell yeah. I'm also putting the Fluffy on here because Fluffy. Fluffy. I'm just doing some really small stitches going through the fluff to like hold it in place a little bit. Luckily it kind of sticks to the thread anyway, so it's not really moving around as I'm trying to stitch it, so that makes it a bit easier. Hell yeah. There you go. Look at our inverted stuff. It looks kind of intimidating, because this looks just like a lake of blood right now, right? Kind of. There's a vibe there. There is a horror-esque vibe to my art right now. Which I'm not completely against, but it was maybe not the vibe that I was quite aiming for. Like, I don't hate it, but it does be looking kind of spooky. I'm also gonna have to get a little bit more thread just to finish this to make sure it's really well attached. I don't want it coming off. It's horrorcore. Yeah. Oops. Oopsie doopsie. Barbie was sold out, and I'm glad about that. Would you not go see it? I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm too manly for Barbie, but like, okay. Don't enjoy what is meant to be one of the best films of the year then. Also, every film is not made for every